Hello and welcome back to Just Ask Mrs. Hurlbut. This is episode 44. Our topic today, bullying. Now that might seem like a strange topic considering my target audience, but you'd be really surprised how much bullying is still thriving in our world today, no matter how old people are. So I just want to take a few minutes to maybe help you identify it so that either A, you're prepared for it and know how to handle it, or B, you stop doing it. Because sometimes people are bullies without even knowing it. When you were a little kid, you probably experienced bullying. Either you were the receiving end, or you were the bully, or you were the bystander. In my childhood, I have very, very vivid memories of being bullied. I was bullied by my siblings. Sorry, guys. I was bullied by classmates. I was bullied by neighborhood kids. And I was bullied in kind of every way imaginable. And I remember going through it, and certainly it made me feel less than what I actually was. But for some reason, it really made me strong. It made me resilient. I only realized that later. But a lot of people, that doesn't happen to you. It doesn't happen to a lot of people. So in my case, I tended to say, you know what, forget that. I'm going to go this direction. If I didn't get invited, if I was excluded or I was whispered about behind people's back, I had to grow a thick skin because honestly, I'd go home and tell my mom, and that's exactly what she'd tell me to do. Obviously, it was a different world than we live in today because the advice that I gave my own kids was different than that that my mother gave me. She really didn't know about most of it, even with the stuff that was happening right under her roof. So in my generation, with my kids' generation, it was different. I remember so vividly telling my girls especially, saying if I ever find out that there's been a bullying situation with you, you better be the victim. Because it's a lot easier for me to offer you love and support than it is for me to change mean. Like, how do you change mean? That takes a lot more work. So I would tell my girls to find forgiveness in your heart, hope that they can open their eyes to the pain and suffering that they're causing, but that you need to try new angles for friendship. You need to try new interests. It's really hard when you go to a small school too, and your pool of friends is not very big. But here's the thing, we're all going to go through trials. We're all going to be mistreated in our lives. For most of us, it happens later, but a lot of people do suffer at a younger age. And you've really got to find your strength. You've got to totally believe in yourself. And if you're raised in a household where love of self is number one and knowing God's love for you, those are your weapons to say, you know what, you can call me all the names you want, but I know my worth. I know my value. And it's interesting, people that are bullied, if they come out of it in good shape, they have very successful lives because they have so much more compassion and consideration for people. I think because of my own experience that I'm a better mother because of it. I'm a better friend because of it. I'm a better teacher because of it. I am very intentional with the way I treat people so that nobody misconstrues what I'm saying or doing for something that's hurtful. And if somebody does that to me, I might say to them some of the things I'll say now, or first I'll say, ouch, I might say that, or I might say, you might want to rethink what you just said because that came out in a very hurtful manner. What I don't do, and I've never done, is say, oh, that hurt my feelings. Because nobody cares about my feelings, especially if you're being bullied. It doesn't matter. Think about their behavior, not how their behavior is projected on you. You've got control over that. So if somebody's bullying you or mistreating you in some way, don't say, you hurt my feelings. Say to them, what you're doing is hurtful. What you're doing is not okay. What you're doing needs to change. The behavior needs to change. That way, you're not passing judgment on them as a human. You're calling out a behavior. And you're not projecting it back on yourself saying, I feel less about myself because of the way you're speaking. That's exactly what they want to hear you say. So I'm getting off on tangents, but make sure that you don't allow what their behavior is to hurt you. On the other side of that, when somebody is bullying you, if you can, extend kindness, extend grace, be the bigger person, even extend mercy and forgiveness. Because if you react, you're giving them exactly what they want. I don't know what it is about girls. Please respond if you think I'm wrong. But girls tend to want to gather their minions, claim their turf, and they handpick who they want to be in that group. And it's usually the weaker girls that aren't prepared to stand up for themselves. The target is often the girl with confidence, the girl with a mind of her own, the girl who might not have the same ideas as them. And when those girls have those other ideas, they become a threat. So it's interesting when we think about bullying behavior, those who bully and those who are bullied. Look at the scenario the next time you see that happen. What is driving this person who's mistreating other people? What's the drive? Are they out to be mean, or are they trying to claim their place and remove the threat? Because the one who's the threat is usually confident enough that they don't need to prove themselves, and they don't worry about what other people think of them. The exclusion, that's the hardest part of bullying. If you're confident, people talking poorly about you is one thing, but people talking behind your back, gathering friends around to remove themselves from the environment where you are, that's where you got to stand up and say, I deserve better than this, and I'm going to go find someplace else to go. I'm telling you, it happens just recently, elementary school level, high school level. There isn't a kid, especially the girls, who's gotten through high school who hasn't run into that. Being excluded from the table at the cafeteria, being singled out on social media, finding out on Monday about what all of her friends were doing over the weekend that somehow didn't include you, and they spoke poorly about you. Rumors start flying, and you're the only one who knows the truth. So bullying behavior, are you the bully? If you are, take a good long look at yourself and figure out what's going on. Why is your heart moving in that direction instead of a direction of goodness where you can discover everything that's wonderful about yourself and share it with others? Because that's what real friendship, real love is about, is what you have to bring to others, not what they have to bring to you. And if you've been bullied, please use this as an opportunity for growth. Know your value. Know that you're better than what other people say about you. Get your thick skin, like my mom would say. Find out what you're good at and surround yourself with wonderful people. And I'll tell you, from my perspective on the other side, I'm at the age now where I would never allow anyone to bully me in any way. I would say, see ya. I have so many other people that I can be with right now. Life is too short, so go ahead and be selective, even when you're young. And boys, this goes for you too, so please chime in if you think there's more to say. But bullying behavior, if you're the bully, take a good long look in the mirror and figure out what's driving you to behave this way, and find what's good in your heart. And if you're being bullied, turn the other way, turn the other cheek, find another path for yourself, because you are worth so much more than the way people are treating you. And if you're the bystander, stand up for your friend. You know that friend's being bullied. Stand up to them, no matter how old you are. Stand up for them, sorry. Stand up to the one who's bullying and ask yourself, is this really who I want to hang out with? If that were me, I'd walk away with my arm around the person who's being bullied, because that's where you belong. All right, guys, be kind to one another. I'll see you soon.